Well, it's just a display that we're having. It's a 7-foot Voltron based off of our jumbo 30th anniversary Voltron that we're releasing later this year. I thought it'd be nice to see something different. Last year we actually displayed our 7-foot masterpiece Voltron that we had in previous shows, and I thought, well, let's focus on the big jumbo that we're releasing this year in 24-inch format. We just blew this up to 7 feet tall. And the fans are loving it. They had the opportunity to take photos in front of it, tweet it, Instagram it. We had a free pin, a 30th anniversary Voltron pin that we gave out to every fan who did take a photo with it. They were excited about that. You can walk on over and see the exclusive for the show.
Which is?
Yeah, this is the gold limited edition 30th anniversary gold edition for Comic-Con. Now, we don't specifically say that it's for San Diego only because we plan to be attending the New York Comic-Con. So for those fans who want to be out in the East Coast who can't make it here, we hopefully will be out there in October. So come on out and see us. We did reserve a small quantity. There are only 500 of these, in the world. Okay. We did save some for our international customers. In fact, this coming week, just in a day or two, starts the Anacon in Hong Kong. So the Hong Kong Comic-Con technically is starting. We've reserved about 50 pieces for that show. And then in September, we have the Singapore Comic-Con, which will have about 30 pieces there for sale. So it's not that much. I mean, we took the 500 and kind of, spread it among many different shows. Anticipate about only 100 pieces reserved for New York. Wow. So if you're coming out to New York and you didn't get your 30th anniversary gold edition, that's your opportunity. But I would say come early because those 100 will not last. They're already sold out here.
Would you say it's going to be gone within in the first hour or something?
I think I sold the first 100 here in San Diego opening night.
Wow.
And that was 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I said, wow, we got to stop. If we sell more than 100, we still got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's why we reserved some back and reserved some, just for every day. And today we put out another, I would say 24 pieces, and that sold out very quickly.
Right.
I think it sold out by 9:30, and the show opened at 9. Mm-hmm. So very impressed. Very impressed.
Like hotcakes, man.
Yeah, well, it's $300. It's a little bit higher than the normal edition. The normal edition retails for $225 to $250.
Right.
But everybody can understand it, especially gold plated, and there's only 500 of these in the world. I don't think anybody argued about it. We're very happy. It did incredibly well, and we knew it would do very well.
Okay.
So should we look at the general stuff?
Yeah, let's look at. As we come around the booth here, we see the large images here. Who made all these?
Well, actually, we printed them, but they were all provided by us by our buddies at WEP. These are off of their style guide. It was very helpful. I actually called them and said, hey, you have any good artwork that we can blow up just to wrap the booth around? And sure enough, we had these. They provided this to us. We just printed it out, on our 10-foot wall display. Make sure you take a photo of these for the fans to see.
Yes.
So, we had a lot of kids stand in front of this, take a photo of it, and it's so nice to see even parents and adults who grew up with this now just reminisce about their childhood. It's quite nice.
They love the giant robots.
Oh yeah, giant robots is a big thing now.
Yeah,
we've seen a lot of increase and interest in robots in general overall.
Would you say there was an increase since Pacific Rim came out?
Or no, I think it was before that. I think it was triggered by Transformers, possibly after the first movie, about 3-4 years back. And then it just kind of, slowly grew and reached a point where now everybody's just robot crazy.
Yeah.
And Voltron, definitely the king of them all.
Right.
And to me, should always been one of those stapled robot characters that's an evergreen. He's going to be famous forever.
Right. So let's talk about this the 30th anniversary Voltron that's been out for a while now.
Yeah.
How's it doing?
It's doing very well.
It's
doing very good. In fact, we released the first shipment in March, and we shipped about 5,000 units. Okay. And those 5,000 were pre-sold prior to even before they hit our warehouse. So that was great. Then we started accumulating a huge back order of orders that we couldn't fulfill. And the next shipment actually started to trickle already in June. I mean, in
Okay.
July now, and the majority of it's going to be hitting the end of August. So you should see it another run of this in retail stores by September.
Okay.
Now, the good news is if you missed out in March and you have your opportunity this time around, we planned on making a final run of another 5,000 pieces by the end of October, November, before the
Okay.
end of the year.
That's the last ditch effort,
That's the
right?
last year. Yeah, our promise to WEP as well as all the fan that since we're going to be celebrating the 30th anniversary, we will only manufacture this item for the year of the 30th anniversary. So whatever we could produce in 2014 was the run. We're
Right.
not going to make this again in 2015 or 16, even though we have the license till then.
Right.
It's just that this item will be retired December 31st, 2014. So if
Okay.
you don't get it now, don't think it's coming back later or next year.
Right. Now you mentioned the retail stores. What retail stores are you talking about?
Well, it's funny. You can buy it everywhere from like there's some small brick and mortar stores, but if you're not around a small a collectible retail shop or a comic book chain store, you can definitely buy it from like Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, even Amazon.com will carry it.
Wow.
And don't forget, the top place to get Voltron merchandise is Voltron.com.
Yeah. All right. So how about these little guys up here, the posable figures?
Yeah, this is really nice. I know we wanted to add another SKU into the 30th anniversary and get something out before the end of the year.
Right.
And we've done, a 11 inch die cast version. And we're producing a large jumbo 24-inch version. I don't want to jump to that, but we also wanted to make sure that we got something, smaller. This is the lowest retail price item for the 30th anniversary. Suggested retail is around $80 to $85. It'll
Okay.
be out in stores around November of this year. It's more of a die-cast plastic, superposable, with light-up eyes, interchangeable face. It comes
Nice.
with 3 different faces: one serious look, one angry look, and even has a face with a little smirk.
And I got to tell you, just by looking at these things, it looks like one of those things that somebody would put on their office desk and then just
Yeah,
love to play with
exactly.
all day long.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know it has all those little things going on with it.
No, absolutely. I mean, if you didn't touch it, if you didn't pick it up and see all the cool gimmicks that were built into that, you probably think, oh God, it's just some plastic action figure, shouldn't cost any more than $20. Why is this thing 80? But then
Right.
once you get to play with it, once you see all the accessories, once you see, how the eyes light up and you can change the expression and it's how it's fully posable and it's also contains metal parts, then you're like, wow, I can totally see why it's valued this. We anticipate selling thousands of these. And
Okay.
again, we'll probably only do one run of this. So
Okay.
when they see this in October or November, you gotta grab it because this item will not be available after next year. I mean, if there's some on the shelves, that's fine. But Toynami, we are not going to manufacture it.
Gotcha. All right,
Yeah.
let's talk about the Big Daddy.
Yeah, that's
All
my
right.
favorite right here.
Here we go.
Now, a lot of people could argue with me and say, "Hey, George, why
Can you
doesn't
stand
it?
up?
Yeah, why doesn't it transform? Why doesn't it disassemble?" That's the whole thing with Voltron.
Yeah.
But if you remember as a kid, and I'm sure many of them did or do. Japan originally released a piece that was kind of a jumbo machinder.
Right.
It was basically made out of blow-mo PE material, polyethylene, and it had rolling wheels. Oh, actually, that one didn't have wheels. It didn't even have a shooting fist. And I said, "Oh man, they should have made it They should make it that way."
Right.
And then when LJN in the 80s brought that back and put it on a remote control platform, I was like, "Oh great, they're bringing that back." But why is it stuck to a remote control platform? That's just,
Yeah.
and it's a wired remote.
Right. You
on
got
top
to
of it.
walk along with it.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, shoot, does it even shoot the fist?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't even do
No.
that. Okay, so I said, one day, if I ever had the opportunity to do one like this, I would put all the things I wanted in there. So I carried over some other characteristics of the traditional jumbo machinder. I added the wheels underneath, because that was the whole thing about that collection. It all had wheels, and they always either had missiles or either a fist that would shoot. And I said, oh, we got to do that for Voltron. We got to do the shooting fist because he did that in the cartoons.
Right.
So in this version, both the red and the green fist do shoot their fist. I mean, the lions do fire out of the arms.
Right.
And they do have wheels underneath so that you can slide it along for freewheeling action.
All right, so when are we talking about this being available?
I'm trying to get this out for fourth quarter right now before Christmas. It does have a retail price about $250. It is limited. I'll probably do a one-time run, very limited, of only 2,000 pieces in the world. And that's pretty much it. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, you got an excellent display here at the Toynami booth at San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, thank
This
you
is
very
awesome.
much, Mark. Thank you.